What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. I'm going to make this a quick video. We're going to talk about a couple things. One, the market, all three indexes. Then we're going to talk about, well, first of all, how they were up, and then we're going to get into Zoom and NIO. So if you're new here, this is just a quick little snapshot. I trade price action. No indicators, no BS, no, just where are the buyers, where are the sellers. I make plays off of that. I plan everything I do the night before and then execute the next day. It keeps me from having to stare at the charts all day making emotional trades. So first and foremost, let's go over Zoom and NIO. Now, Zoom's earnings came out, and I don't care what was in the report. I didn't read it. But we went from blue zone right up here to the yellow zone, and we kind of held out. So if you look at indicators, I bet this one, RSI is a little bit up there. Yeah, overbought. But what I'm watching out for tomorrow, depending on what the markets do actually, is how we interact at this zone. If we just base out, I'm going to take that as bullish. As we come into this yellow zone, I'm looking for sellers. And, if we look here, those aren't really sellers. That's maybe a couple people taking profit. So I want to see, do we gap down, do we gap above? How we interact in the morning, how it is above this zone. If we do gap up, I'm thinking gapping crap will probably come down. I still like an entry at this level if this zone holds. If this zone holds and we are here, I like it and just stop out right below. But if the futures are red and we're pulling back, then I probably won't take an entry. But right here, if we pulled back to this blue zone, I like it again. Make a nice little higher low in there. As you can see, it's starting to curve and work its way around. So the fact that we got up here now tells me it's a bullish sign. Green reaction on earnings, which is more than we can say for NIO. So NIO, just kind of did what the market did, right? Pushed up after hours. We pushed up a little bit and then sold right back off, ultimately closing inside this zone. I still have my alert down here. If tomorrow's red, I wouldn't be shocked, but I kind of have a hard time thinking NIO is going to go to that $39 mark. So I'm starting to look for an entry in here for things to turn around. Now, again, last week was just rough. We sold off. We kind of started to hold this right here. So let's see where that is. I'm kind of bullish above, bearish below this current zone right now. As far as my plays today was an easy day. Right? If you're a subscriber of mine, you guys know over the weekend I had shares and a lot of tech stuff, but also calls and SQQQ for capital reasons, right? So not that I couldn't afford it, but I'd have to just tie, if I wanted to hedge and cover that, I would have to spend a whole lot in SQQQ, and at that point I'm just going to take a loss regardless. Like I'm just going to break even. So what I ended up doing was shares and a bunch of tech, but calls and SQQQ, which is bearish tech. So as tech sells off, these go up. But I bought calls because they spool up. So if it were to sell off, those were the airbags in case of a crash. Now, I say that because those were obviously red today. So everything I was in was up. I trailed a lot of stuff. As soon as the market opened, I put my stop right at break even, in the green, because we gapped up on a lot of things. So stops went in right there. A lot of stuff tagged out. One of my best ones was actually Facebook. Yeah, hang on, right inside here. I started to see us hold right here, and if we go down to a smaller time frame, this just started to hold right here. Now, I grabbed Facebook. I didn't even grab a crazy amount. I grabbed a small amount thinking, all right, let's just get in here. My risk is down here. I plan on even adding on, but I saw us turning around right here. And we just went for it. I just trailed this thing up all day. As soon as we got up here, I even told the mentorship group, I said, stop, we're a little bit up there right inside here. I told them I put it at 264.85 right here. After that, I ended up putting it at 265.35, to which later it tagged out. It was a great play. Again, only a few hundred shares, but I didn't expect to make over $1,000 just on Facebook. I didn't expect a kind of a zone-to-zone move today. So easy play there. Amazon, so that was up, shares tagged out. Now I grabbed a call on this. Now I actually danced around in a couple calls. My entry exit, I was not going to take a red trade today. So bought that, wrote it up, a couple things tagged out inside here, and then ultimately wrote it up. Even some shares at the end of the day, I was like, I'm going to swing this. We didn't really go zone to zone. I'm thinking tomorrow we might actually get to that zone, but I closed both. Great trades, very profitable, locked in shares and calls. Tesla as well. Tesla was just up. Now, I grabbed, where did I get in trouble with this one? I didn't really get in, I was right here. We got a little bit red, and, I'm kind of watching this intraday to, like, are we going to bounce out here? We're going to hold that $700 mark. That turned around it being fine. I closed that as well. Both, same story as Amazon, shares and calls. Shares, those tagged out. Then I just got back in calls, rode that up. Great day. Closed it. Rocket, still in. The only thing I did was add on this blue zone. We pushed up here. Added on here. Ultimately, had my stop right below here. I had that wick, had it below this wick, and then just held my stop the rest of the day. And added on a few more times, but just a couple hundred shares each time. So I think that one will probably just run because everyone's trying to capture that special dividend. So $1.11 per share. So I think a lot of people are trying to just capture that. I think a lot of people are going to try to time it to where they'll get in, they'll sell right before. The special dividend got to own it of the 8th, so on the 9th, we'll probably see a sell-off on that one. It'll probably be easy to guess. That one I'll still risk manage because I have no problem stopping out and getting back in. We did it back here. On the earnings, I sold at 24, and then I got back in here, and then here we are again. Free money. This one I am still in. Apple was another great one. It's also closed. And we just kind of just hung out here. Again, I was like, all right, we're kind of bullish above here, really bullish above here. We got above it. So now that we got above this zone, I'm looking for, I told you guys on a lot of tickers, we're bullish above, bearish below in these scenarios. We got above it today. The reason I closed everything today was look right where we landed. I even had some SPY calls. Just zone to zone and look right where we landed. We ended the day inside that zone. Futures opened up, and right now they're currently selling off. So the risk just wasn't there for me. The juice was not worth the squeeze. Same with tech. Tech, that's why. Now, I saw Amazon didn't go zone to zone, but tech sure did, and that will drive the order flow. That's a bright yellow zone for a reason. We thought there'd be some sellers here. And ultimately, overall, if we pull back tomorrow, it's turnaround Tuesday. I think that's going to be the best dip buy. The fact that we pushed up this much today, could we keep going tomorrow? Sure, absolutely. And I'm 50-50 on it. And I kind of hope we don't because, technically speaking, if we pull back and make that higher low tomorrow, you're going to get a much better entry as far as risk is concerned. The fact that we pushed up as high as we did, I'm now confidently looking for a higher low. I'm not really on the bear train anymore. So I'm not short anything. I said all that as far as like tech goes because I kept the SQQQ calls. Very red, but everything I was in was very green. So I made up for that plus a lot more. So that being said, I kind of took that with a, let's see where it goes. It's an airbags play, not one. Like when I take a play like that, I prefer it go to zero. I prefer my airbags never go off in the car. So yes, it takes away from some of my profits, but when the risk is there, whether you guys see it or not, it's still there. All we did was break horizontal. We came up here and tagged this. We pulled back down here. All we did was go horizontal. We could be in another volatility box. As far as the S&P goes, that's still a lower high. So we pull back to this zone and make that higher low at that 385 mark. I like it. I think the risk is much better off if we were just pulled back tomorrow, make that, or if we just gap down, we'll open up red, and then we'll just ride that thing into the green. That's what I'm looking out for tomorrow. So I will end it here. One last one. Bitcoin. Bitcoin made the run today, finally changing that trend around. I got some Bitcoin videos coming up, by the way. I ordered a mining rig, an ASIC or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to buy some graphics cards. The gamers are going to hate me, but I'll make a little video series on is it worth it to mine Bitcoin or should you just buy it? Should be pretty fun. At least I'll have a bunch of lights and fans that are really noisy and well, you guys know how I do. I don't like to give my opinion unless I've actually walked that walk and done it. So I will end that here with you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell and thumbs up. If you want to quit buying my shares, because I don't sell them at a good deal, stick around and find out where I'm selling. And I will see you guys tomorrow.